All right, and a good Sunday to you. Welcome to another episode of JD's Deep Cut Sunday Tracks, where again we're going to, unearth, revisit old albums. Not the most albums that were hits, that were top charters, long lost songs. It might be a song that was big at its time in the '70s. But with time it got lost, or it could be just a deep cut, deep cut track. Today's a special episode. I want to celebrate my 50 subs. Okay. Shout out there to JT. Shout out to Chris Profi. He gave some recommendations. I'm kind of gonna do a thread here, I guess he was calling it. Hopefully it comes out okay. Steve Carlson, shout out to. Really cool channels there. Check them out if you get a chance. Okay. Doing the three of a kind. Okay. Gonna focus on one album, but as you can see, I got 3 records back here. So it will be one today, one maybe further along on a future episode. Okay, so kind of doing a 2-for-1 here, celebration of my 50 subs. Thank you all for checking out my videos, and a thread here, kind of a thing going with the thread. Maybe it'll keep going. Okay, so I'm still doing with the, still gonna be doing an 80s theme here, 80s band. Well, this band in particular came out in the '70s. I believe they're still rocking out. Okay, definitely a band that has a very eclectic song genre, song styles. In general, their genre, they kind of been all around the board. I'm still researching this band. I'm still listening to albums. I'm still not a pro at the band, but I've always wanted to just explore this band's material. They are so how should I call it, professionals, musicians, not a band that you're gonna take to a party and blast, kind of a type of band where you sit down and listen and observe the music, the great music, the great stuff they're doing. Okay, King Crimson. Okay, we're doing a King Crimson, the three of a kind on the albums here. Like I mentioned, I'm not a pro at this band. I'm still learning. I'm still researching. I'm still analyzing this band. I first came across their first 2 records, in the Court of Crimson King and in the Wake of Poseidon. Just great albums. Okay. 21st Century Schizoid Man, great song. But then, they kind of start shuffling the cards there. And they, again, this band is all around the board. Okay. They're mainly like thrown into the progressive genre, but art rock is in there, progressive rock is in there, art rock. I like to call them kind of like math rock. I mean, because like I mentioned, these musicians in there are just professional geniuses at their craft. Prog psych rock, if they've been called. Okay, so the 3 albums: Discipline, Beat, and 3 of a Perfect Pair. Okay, I'm gonna focus on Beat, which is this album here. Discipline was the first one. I like to call it the Red Trilogy. Okay, and then 3 of a Perfect Pairs up there. But I'm gonna focus on Beat, which was in the middle of these 2. Beat was an album that came out in '82, I believe. Okay, it's a good album. Okay, again, when you listen to this, don't expect again your dance music or your head banging music, none of that. Okay, this is a very you got to definitely analyze their music. Okay, because King Crimson, like I mentioned, just just great musicians. They've had different incarnations, with Robert Fripp being the main head there that's been with the band. It's his toy, you know, it's his creation. Okay. But on this particular three albums, we had the same lineup. We had Bill Bruford, we had Adrian Belew, a singer, vocalist, guitar player there, and Tony Levin. I think Tony Levin's still with them. Great bass player. Just odd time signatures on the beat there. Just out there, rhythm section. But in the end, I mean, just great musicianship. Again, like I mentioned, you got to sit down and listen side to side A, turn it over, listen to side B, and just analyze. Read the lyrics, because there's definitely a thing going on there with the message of the album. Beat, for instance, is referring to Jack Kerouac's On the Road. Okay, they based this album on that novel. Okay, you know, there's a song called Neil and Jack and Me, which if you've read that book, I'm sure you know who they're talking about. You know, there's a song called Beat as well, Heartbeat. The lyrics definitely will take you back to the book, so they're kind of throwing that in there, and that's what caught my eye on this album too. Beat, I read about a little bit, and it's kind of based off of Jack Kerouac's novel, which is my favorite writer. Okay. But yeah, check this album out. Like I said, King Crimson's going to be all over the board. Okay, their early stuff is just in your face, you know. The music is just blasting. I mean, it's great. One album I do want to check out of there is Red. Apparently, it's one of like the heaviest albums, not in the metal sense, just loud, and the strong banging of the drums, and just the guitar time signatures, the tunings are just whack, you know. But they're great. I mean, I really like King Crimson. When I listen to them, I'm just focus on them, you know. Two Hands is my favorite song off this record. Great guitar tone on there by Adrian Belew and Robert, of course. But Two Hands, Requiem. There's a song that you know, showcases Bill Bruford's drumming skills. You know, Bill Bruford was drummer for Asia, which was that all-star band. You know, did a lot of stuff there. Played with King Crimson for a while there, and at least on these three albums. On Red, I think he was on there too. I can't wait to check that album out. I'm still on the hunt for that. Not that I'm picky, but I'm not sure if they've reissued their backlog. But I've been searching for that album, and I know I'm going to come across it, just like I came across these three. Okay, luckily, these three were bought on the same haul. Okay, pretty decent price too. Record store I bought them at is fairly priced, you know. Original pressings there. Okay, but Requiem is a song on this album that is showcasing Bill Bruford's drumming skills. So very good, very great. I'm sure you all know who that is. Okay, so check that song out. Check. You won't go wrong. I mean, like I mentioned, the early stuff, you know, they go through phases of the genre: the art rock, the prog psych rock, the progressive rock, odd time signatures. Just kind of be open, okay? But they are a great band, okay? Robert Fripp has a YouTube channel with the wife. It's kind of funny because it goes from one extreme to the other. You know, with King Crimson, he's doing all this calculus physics. That's how I kind of see it. Type of work, you know, on his music. And then on the YouTube channel they have, I can't remember what it's called. It's called something like Sunday Jams or something. But the wife sings. You know, they just pick, you know, rock and roll songs, trendy, famous songs, and they just kind of play them, you know. And he's just like doing his just power chords, you know. You're like, what? Like, almost looks like just learn how to play guitar or something. They do, you know, they throw in, you know, GNR songs, ZZ Top, and they're just rocking them out, and you know, they kind of cut them short there, and she's singing. Pretty funny. Check it out. They'll wear costumes, you know. Sometimes they'll have an extra guitarist there, but it's kind of fun. It's like, oh wow, look at King Crimson. He's doing all this intricate guitar work, arrangements, and then he's just doing it on the YouTube channel. It's kind of funny. Pretty cool. Check it out. All right, so Discipline, 3 of a Perfect Pair, and Beat. We showcase Beat today. Great albums, art proggy rock, I would say. I'll do another album on the future. The Red Trilogy, okay, I like to call it. And yeah, maybe somebody can do a trilogy of one of bands they like. You know, they don't have to be in order. These were kind of in order, with the color too. But see if you can come up with the 3 albums, you know, that trilogy that you would like. Okay, I hope that worked. But thanks again for watching. You know, I'll see you on the next round, and celebrating my 50 subs. Okay, moving on. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.